Saturday, January 15th, 1944. Number 30, Dialogue with Gitta. The dialogue could not take place yesterday because Hanna and József were called to visit József's gravely ill father in the hospital. I speak to you of the narrow passage. If you come to a standstill, and often you do stand still, be aware of the reason. There is no true faith without act. There is no true act without faith. Faith cannot be greater than act, and act cannot be greater than faith, for they are one. It is not your faith which is insufficient, it is your act. Faith without an act is not faith. You could do more. You are still a coward. Be aware of what you are doing. Not only have faith, but act. Do you act, my servant? What do you actually mean when you say act? I asked you, do not ask. Answer. I seldom act. What does this indicate? I do not use the force that is given to me. And what is the reason for this? I do not know. Pay close attention. Act and faith have been separated. The reason was the many empty acts. Now your heart begins to detest the meaningless act. Already you can act without it being empty. All of you, take heed of the narrow passage. Act and faith will be one, and there will be a new heaven and a new earth. Is thinking also an act? Only part of the act. The act is one, the task. There is no divided act. There are no multiple acts. From dawn till dusk, from dusk till dawn, from birth till death, only one act. Serving. There is no small act. There is only the task. What appears as a small act is only the inadequate or the unfulfilled act. You cannot stretch out your hand without this being an act. Much is always delusion. A pause does not make two separate songs out of one. Do not be misled. Ask my servant. What are sunspots? What effect do they have on us, and how could they be controlled? Why do you want to know this? Because I recently watched the setting sun with the naked eye. I saw big black spots, and I was filled with anticipation of great horrors. How could I explain the effect of infinite numbers of suns to you? You are a curious child, but that is not a fault. You would be horrified if you could see the tremendous forces that race back and forth through you without your knowing it. But if you are whole, and if you follow your calling, there are no more blind forces, for then they become active in you and through you. If not, they destroy you. Silence. Your task is not finished, but that does not matter. I have been unable to paint because I could not find the 7 joys. All week long I have searched in vain for the 7 joys with much effort but no success. To paint and to enjoy is one and the same thing. You child, you have tried too hard. Paint and rejoice, rejoice and paint. In this way your task is formed. Thus you will not have much to do from dawn to dusk. One act. My angel turns to Lili. You asked yourself in your heart what life is. You will savor it when it begins. You merely taste it now, but soon you will live it. The still, secret, new vibration. The two of us are also one. I respond and you accept my answers gladly. We are completely different and yet we are one. And how different you all are, to the splendor of the divine. Different, and yet truly one. Saturday, January 15th, 1944, number 30, Dialogue with Joseph. A deep silence follows the dialogue with my angel. Hanna turns to Joseph and gazes steadfastly at him. Suddenly, he very clearly sees the image of his angel bathed in an intense green light. All hesitation, all shyness, and all false shame of speaking is swept away. Speak to me. False shame is a sign of weakness. Adam hid because he was not yet human. The Father and your Father are one. Between them, the Son. The Son is the link. There is no death because the Son is there. Silence is my word. From silence, create the act. However loud your tool may be, it creates silence in matter. Josef's work consists of carpentry and furniture building. Silence, balance, measure. The saw cries out, and what it creates radiates silence, peace, and balance. Do you have a question? Josef is deeply affected by his father's illness. Speak about death. You ask about something that does not exist. I will answer you just the same. What is death below is life above. You, too, are mortal and yet live eternally. All else is time and illusion, waves breaking on the shore, infinity of small deaths. That is life. Cells die, new ones are born. Do not let your father go. He can still live on. It is not death that is bad, but the unfinished task. Ripe fruit falls from the tree of its own accord. The fruit that falls is ripe, therefore it is good. Your father's not yet ripe. He misses something, that you also become father. Josef and Hanna have no children. That is what he misses. Silence. You may call me at any time, just as you called me now. Any time. May you be wrapped in silence. May it protect you from temptation. May it unite you with the divine. I do not depart. Saturday, January 15th, 1944, number 30. Dialogue with Lili.
I greet all of you.
To Joseph, who had spoken for the first time.
The circle is the key. There is no hierarchy. The circle is completed. The last wall has crumbled. Indescribable joy. For the deceiver enters through the wall, and without a wall, there is no entry.
I see an image of heavy fortified walls forming by our fixed opinions. There, only there, can the deceiver creep in on us. In the new, the living, the ever-changing and transforming, there is no need to fear the deceiver.
Even the deceiver helps us. Everything helps us. There is no more evil. Already you know it. Indescribable joy.
Silence.
Nothing is straight. Not even a ray of light is straight. Everything is circular. Believe me, you move on a tiny segment of the infinite circle. And this part of the infinite circle appears to be straight. The mind cannot grasp it. Is the center of all circles. The smaller the circle, the greater the presence of the divine. But every circle is necessary.
To Joseph.
My son, your body still resists, for you have entered a new circle. All of you, become accustomed to ever smaller circles. The deceiver circles around you, no longer attacking at the breach, but at the wall. Fear not. You are already very strong. Ask my servant.
Speak about life, that we might become alive.
Life is not yet known to you, for it is only now that you shall be born. You only dream of life. Compared with the coming life, the present life is death. You would not yet be able to bear it, but prepare yourself. Sometimes you sense it.
But so seldom.
What a big word! Now you feel the transition. You must die a little bit, apparently die. The transition is drawn. Night was velvety safe darkness. Dawn is neither night nor day. Transition. Do not regret living darkness, for light is the greatest wonder of all. Every transition is trial. Fear not to leave darkness, for the root, eternally in darkness, remains united with the flower and the fruit. Ask.
When I am alone, I am unable to try out new things, to experiment.
Alone. You are never alone. Each of you is unique, but each of you is nothing without the others. The unity among you is more, not less. Separated sounds do not have meaning, even if each is unique and special, even if none resembles another. Only praise His glory together. Out of chaos the tone is born, out of tones the song, if all the tones are pure. If you feel alone, separated from the others, then the deceiver can attack you there, where you have walled. In truth, you are never separate from the others, just unique. Only in song does the voice receive wings, and song comes only from pure voices. Song, tone, vibration, word, inseparably one. It is not you who experiments, it is you who is experimented upon. This is the second time that Lili has been told that she is experimented upon. I ask myself if, in this time of transition, such experiments are being conducted everywhere. Are they the beginning of a general transformation of humankind? I experienced the encounter with our angels as something so natural that I believe many others could likely be having similar experiences. You do what you are called for. You transform yourself. You hear the call and you come. That suffices. Because of time and space, the material result in matter will reveal itself only later, but it cannot fail to come. If you transform yourself, matter likewise transforms itself. Your previous work is not lost. It will flower, for the root is good. It is called help. All else is unimportant. You will help. That is why you are here. What still troubles you? Let me help you. The feeling that I must rise higher. Free of must, you rise higher. You come nearer to yourself. Receive my joyful blessing, all of you in the circle, for you have faith. Fear nothing. The realm of the divine is near. Death's last hour has tolled. Bow your heads. Gesture of blessing.
Friday, January 21st, 1944. Number 31. Dialogue with Gitta. I've been paralyzed all week by a distressing sluggishness. All of my activities seem flat to me, totally lacking in flavor. What are you lacking? I do not know. Are you hungry? Yes, for teaching, yes. And when you ask, do you receive? Yes, but I do not notice when I am sinking. You receive what you ask for. Is that not so? Yes, when I do not ask for myself. Even when you ask for yourself, you receive. Aren't you asking for food? From whom do you receive it? It dawns on me that the body's hunger and the soul's hunger are both forms of asking. From the divine. Then do not say that you do not ask for yourself. You are at the center of a circle of asking. Everything implores you, all of unfulfilled creation. You are a mediator for creation. Could there possibly be a reason to forget this? You are not allowed to be depressed. If salt were to lose its flavor, why use it? I feel that I am like salt, which could add savor to everything, but I tend to forget it. Silence. Please teach me a constant adoration of the divine. Do you believe that is far away? No. That is close to you? That is everywhere. Then how can you adore the divine only now and then? I cannot teach you to adore the divine. but I can teach you that Ö is found in everything, that Ö is here and there and everywhere in everything, even down in the depths. Your task defines your place in the divine. Hearing these words, I suddenly become aware that I am a unique thought of the divine, a unique cell of the divine body, with a unique task. Depression is a sure sign of having forgotten my task. But your place is limited by time and space. Adoration, constant adoration, is nothing other than unity with the divine. Speak. How could I free myself from the false idea that I must act, I must do? If you adore the divine, that fulfills you, and there will be no place for false ideas. Joy will fill you. Not only shall you rejoice, but everything surrounding you, objects, matter, people, work, task, all shall rejoice, except you. Your joy will be one with the joy of the divine. You will no longer feel divided. If only this were possible now. It is possible right now, not tomorrow. Ask. What is free will? To be free to live in this way, now and always. Anything else is nothing. That should suffice for you. To us all. There is no slavery, but there is the law. Your law is to be united, and that is your freedom. Divided, you are slaves. United, you are free. The way is free, and Ö is smiling upon you. Friday, January 21st, 1944. Number 31. Dialogue with Hanna's Angel. We await Lili's angel, but with the first words I feel a presence of such measured and grave dignity and strength that I am almost frightened. At the same time, I recognize with indescribable joy Hanna's teacher. Though without any memory image, I am absolutely sure I know this angel of divine justice. The one who measures speaks to you. What is growth for the plant? What is movement for the animal? Is for the human giving. Giving is not fruit, but growth, preparation. I become aware that giving is not a concrete result, but the necessary condition for any growing. If you do not always give, you wither. The fruit is the new world. I serve through measuring. The unmeasurable appears in the measurable. Perfection in the limited is an image of the unlimited. It is given to you to fill your measure, neither with waste nor greed, but with constant adoration.
I am overjoyed that the angel of measure also answered my question about constant adoration. The measure is given, it is in you. Not the size of the measure is important, for the divine fills all. If you fill your measure, you become similar to the divine. Only then. To you I proclaim that I measure. I measure since the beginning of time. That is my means of serving. I do not reward. I do not punish. I only measure. You carry reward and punishment in yourselves. In fulfilling your measure you grow. If not, you wither. Do not believe that anything is impossible. The law of weight is the possible. The law of the new is the impossible. Leaden birds, the door of your cage is open, but you dare not fly. Never had I felt so petrified in my habitual way of thinking as I do now. At the same time, I have the presentiment that a new kind of awareness will soon become possible. I frighten you that you may fly. I spoke, I depart. After this dialogue, I begin to understand what my angel had told me much earlier. I created you according to my image. I realized that each of us might come to resemble his or her own angel. The basic potentialities or seeds are given. The essence of Lili's nature corresponds to the one who helps, Hanna's to the one who measures, József's to the one who builds, and mine to the one who shines. Friday, January 21st, 1944. Number 31. Dialogue with Lili. After a few silent moments, we feel the presence of Lili's angel. I now take the lead and continue to speak about measure. The only task of the animal is itself. It rejoices in what is its own, its air, its food, its young. If it is healthy, then it rejoices in all of these. It lives in a circle known as itself. It perceives only what is within this circle and takes it in. It is a creature. Human measure is exactly the opposite. Your joy is what you radiate out of the circle. Thus your joy is immeasurable. The animal is hungry and eats until it is full, until it has had enough. The human is fulfilled and radiates out beyond itself, and that is never enough. Thus human joy is immeasurable. That is the mystery of eternal life. Outside, the village bell begins to sound. If a church bell rings in a closed room, it is unbearable. If joy is all around you, then your measure is right. And this is possible. If you do not believe it, then you do not believe in the divine. It always fills you to the brim, for divine mercy is boundless. To Lili. I have come to answer you. Ask.
Why do humans want to receive everything ready-made?
Spoiled childhood. Ready-made toys, ready-made knowledge, ready-made food, ready-made experience. This is what the child receives, and it ends up feeling nauseous. The thirst for knowledge, the desire to create, everything that forms the human withers away. The joy of experiencing oneself. Too much good advice kills it. That is cowardice and lack of faith. When the child is fully grown, everything in it has withered and died. Learn a lesson from this, my beloved. Never advise, never pre-chew the food. Give differently, and all will be renewed under your hand. Set trials and tasks. Attract others to walk in your footsteps. Do not guide, do not indulge in hand-holding. You may even push the uncertain gently, and their uncertainty will be strengthened. This is what you seek, and you will find it.
Silence.
Dismal grey is followed by a wonderful radiance. But now so many colored pictures, so many colored films that the human eye becomes grey.
Only many years later did I become aware that color films in motion pictures were something the angel had seen long before.
Instead of giving color, the human receives it passively. You may ask,
it is so difficult to awaken interest in the human.
Were I to approach you, you would retreat. Instead, I step back, and without even noticing it, you learn to walk on air, not on water, on nothing. In the same way, I always give only half an answer. I leave out the other half. But humans give satiation. They say, "We are so good to our children and to everyone." With this, we are so good. Everything withers and dies away. You give hunger, not satisfaction. Everything is known to us, and we know everything. You open the unknown.
Silence. Why is it that so few people are able to concentrate?
Because they concentrate on nothing. So much noise, so much color penetrates from outside, but you show something new that is stronger than the strongest sound, and yet silence. To that they will listen.
After an intense silence.
Now I listened, and the sound was good. You can hear it too if you listen intently. Everything depends on listening. Measure, joy, everything. Always listen. Do you have another question?
Lili is still filled with the intense silence. I feel that it would not be right for me to ask now.
Because you did not ask, you will receive 2 answers during the coming week. Listen carefully. 2 important answers. One from below and one from above. And the 2 will be one. Listen well, for it is not I who will be speaking. If you truly listen, even the stones will speak.